Hello and welcome to one of our short demonstrations of PractiCAM. PractiCAM is a computer-aided manufacturing system and an estimating system. It was designed to drive virtually all plasmas, coil lines, or spiral machines on the market today and can be made to drive any CNC sheet metal equipment. On the front screen you will notice a release date and a version number. PractiCAM is currently being updated about 1 to 2 times a week on average for the last several years. These are the most frequent updates available on the market today, and they can be downloaded at the discretion of the customer just by going to our website www.meta-lab.com. All of the prior releases are posted there as well. The best way to demonstrate PractiCAM is to show how we do a basic takeoff. Here is how we would create a fitting in PractiCAM. I'm going to activate one of about 25 different fitting libraries that PractiCAM has to offer. Currently, there are over 2,500 fittings already pre-programmed in the system, which makes it the largest fitting library available to the world. Not only do we have thousands of our own fittings, but we have already included the fitting libraries of all major competitors. However, though our libraries are tremendously extensive, if any one of our customers worldwide ever needs a fitting or a product, HVAC or not HVAC, that is not present here already, all they have to do is send in a sketch and we will download it free of charge directly to their system, and they will never have to lay out this fitting again. Most fittings only take about 48 hours. We are also currently the only people in the world offering this service. I'm going to select one of our fittings here for demo purposes. You will notice that all fittings come in a complete 3D what you see is what you get format. They can each be rotated 360 degrees around the X, Y, and Z axes. They can be zoomed in or zoomed out. Changing a dimension is easy as clicking on a dimension directly on the fitting itself, or we can key it in on the side. You will notice that you don't have to change parameters that are already current, and you can type them in any order without a predetermined sequence. After our design is done, you will notice that we can also break down each fitting in any number of all applicable blank scenarios. It is not enough to just have the proper fitting. One transition is not the same as the other. We need to have the right fitting with the proper parameters, and then we need to break it down into the appropriate blanks. For example, here we will pick 5 pieces with side seams. The 5th piece here would be the collar if we decided to add it. The next step would be to add the connectors. PractiCAM comes with the ability to design virtually any possible connector or allowance that our customers could fathom. There is no limitation as to what you can do with our connectors. You can see how we automatically place a duct mate connector here and a crimp connector. Allowances are placed automatically as you see here, or we can manually add any allowances or edge modifications easily directly on the blanks themselves. You will notice that even our connectors are what you see, what you get. Now that we have our design, we might want to modify a blank. You will notice that just like parameters for dimensions, allowances, locks, the blanks also highlight as you run over them for easy selection. This was just one of the many custom features that PractiCAM offers that allows it to be easy and simple to use. After I've selected a blank by clicking on it, I can modify any part of this blank in our part editor. PractiCAM comes with a complete CAD system built into it free of charge. There is nothing that we cannot create in the flat directly within the system. Though we have over 1,500 parametric parts already included with the system, and we do customize and add parts free of charge, learning to modify parts is simple and training is free for all our customers. The user might want to use our extensive tool palettes to freely modify a blank, or they may want to key in exact dimensions. For example, I can take a circle and say from this point I would like to move 7 inches to the right, 1 inch down, and I would like to cut a hole with 2-inch radius, or a diameter of 4 inches. We can use our measuring tool to make sure all is correct, and then we can click on our View Part icon to see our modified piece in 3D. Once it is finished, we just have to apply it to the fitting, and then we are done. As I had mentioned earlier, everything we do is completely what you see is what you get. PractiCAM is the only HVAC software on the market today with this design capability, making things simple for the user. Once everything is correct, it is time to just select a gauge, material, and quantity, and we are ready to go. Even liner can be added and cut by one click if you have a liner cutter such as an ESOP VapoJet insulation cutter. You will notice 2-inch acoustic liner can be added or taken away right within the takeoff. Once everything is ready, we simply click on the top button that says cut and label and our job is done. PractiCAM is designed to be a multitasking software that runs 5 major functions simultaneously, all with one click. They are designing, nesting, labeling, reporting, and fabricating. It is important to understand that we can design not just HVAC fittings, but any sheet metal product. For example, here is one of our multiple curb adapters or roof curbs. Something simple, such as a chimney saddle, or something more complex, such as a leader head for architectural purposes. We can do louvers or dormers. We have very extensive roofing libraries, even kitchen equipment such as sinks, hoods, or awnings. We do wall paneling and wall paneling assemblies, or architectural profiles. You can even design custom signs, lettering, or text directly within the system. Ornamental or decorative sheet metal, or even a complex double-wall duct library where all you need to do is pick an insulation thickness and PractiCAM will do the rest. The concept is simple. If you can make it out of sheet metal, then we can design it. Second is our nesting procedures. PractiCAM comes with the most efficient packing system on the market today. Everything in the nest is completely within the customer's control. Distance from the edge of the sheet, distance between cuts, limits on face spread, or the ability to flip pieces over automatically so labels can be placed on either side of the blank. Interactive nesting is simple, yet not necessary with PractiCAM. There is even a full scrap inventory that tracks the size, shape, and gauge of all of your scrap. The main idea here is that PractiCAM was designed to reduce the cost of scrap regardless of what type of patterns you were cutting. We are just as efficient with our HVAC products as we are with more complicated shapes such as lettering or ornamental metal. The third step is our labeling system. Once you've designed and nested your fittings, you will want to label them. PractiCAM comes with a complete labeling system that allows users to design any type of label they would like. Each program has about 100 templates of labels to choose from, with features such as graphics, barcoding, or instructions for assembly. However, you can design from top to bottom any design you like directly within the system. We support virtually all printers on the market, and color coding with a LaserJet printer is easy. This also applies to our reporting system as well. Though we provide a large number of reporting templates, there is no limit as to what type of report you can design directly within the system. Some examples here are nesting diagrams, sheet shear reports, lists of accessories, or any type of cost report you would like. The last button up top here is our fabrication button. This is where we can see the actual cut patterns our plasma is going to cut, and where we send our information to the cutter for accurate and efficient burning. Remember, PractiCAM can drive virtually all plasma cutters on the market today, as well as lasers, water jets, and oxy-fuel cutters. But you can always contact us to make sure your cutter is supported. PractiCAM comes with a completely integrated cost estimation system. Here you can run as many simultaneous estimating approaches as you would like. We do pre-program all of SMACNA's labor tables for you, but you can design as many custom labor tables as you would like, and they can be modified for accuracy and then used for graphical analysis. As we run these methods for you, it is important to know that PractiCAM is accounting for everything that goes into your product automatically, all based on your company's individual costs. This is not just on the estimating end, but for the manufacturing end as well. You can see all of this very easily in a very simple operation. Let's add a rod to this fitting. PractiCAM will first graphically add the rod. Then it will burn all of the holes for the placement of that rod. And then we will factor in the price of that rod down to the last inch. This works for all material and accessories inside PractiCAM. For example, we will add round vanes to this fitting. You'll see us add the vanes, miter all the tracks automatically for you, and factor in the material and labor for those vanes as well. If we add connectors like TDC, we can automatically account for the corners, bolts, and clips. Dampers will have their damper shaft inserts accounted for and their blades cut out if desired. Tie rods will be priced per inch and their holes for placement will be burned. Turning vanes need holes for their tracks and labor time associated with assembly. You can even account for more difficult manufacturing tasks like adding splitter vanes to a drop cheek elbow. PractiCAM will add the tracks, it will miter all the blades, and it'll even burn all the holes for tack welding if you like. Of course, the spacing and diameter of holes is completely adjusted directly within the system. You can see how PractiCAM not only accounts for all of your costs, but reduces them as well. Once we are done with the job, we can even get a complete breakdown of the price of each fitting or the total job cost directly on your screen. However, the customer can just print out one of their custom cost reports and then use this information for great accuracy in pricing and bidding. Let's continue with more advantages PractiCAM has to offer. By now you know that PractiCAM has an unlimited supply of accessories which are always calculated on the fly, and all the manufacturing tasks like placement or burning of holes, mitering of tracks, or cutting of damper blades are done automatically for you. However, we also automate the selection of which accessories to use, depending on any number of specification tables that you would like to choose. You will notice as I select an example spec table here, and then start to change my size breaks, that my gauges, connectors, locks, materials, and all of my accessories will automatically change to be placed on the fitting. This takes all the work out of worrying whether or not we are using the proper standards. All we have to do is select the correct pressure gauge or spec table, and everything will go directly on the fitting for us and will be accounted in our cost estimation and all of our reports. These spec tables can be created directly within the system, downloaded off our website, or can be designed by us free of charge. Another important and unique feature is PractiCAM's unlimited segmenting scenarios. Many times when the contractor has to create a fitting which exceeds the size of the sheet they are utilizing, segmentation becomes important. The customer can do a variety of things to accommodate this. First, they can select any number of blank scenarios, including custom ones, which MetaLab provides free of charge. Second, they can manually segment a piece while using our part editor. They can even select the proper seams right here on the fly. You can see here how seamless it is to modify or segment a blank. The last option they have is to create as many segmentation scenarios per fitting as they want and then use our automatic segmentation. Every time our blanks get too big for our sheet stock, PractiCAM will always ask us if you would like to use automatic segmentation, and then use the choice that you have specified here. Remember, since we can customize fittings, the choices for our users are endless. This concludes our short PractiCAM demonstration. Though segmentation was the final topic we covered in this video, it is hardly the last. More features to ask about are our design capabilities for notches or edges, our quick takeoff input, our direct downloading from our CAD systems, networking, pricing, or even our cataloging. Even though we have only covered less than 50% of PractiCAM's features today, one can start to realize why our customers are saying that PractiCAM is truly the most efficient, effective, and innovative program on the market today, designed entirely in and for the 21st century.